Hey guys, this is gamercal. We're not playing strictly speaking, but we're doing Phantasmagoria Flower View Touhou number 9. Yeah, this is the compliment video, of course, as I said, to the replay run thing from the stream, which actually turned out to be, you know, what I would have loved to have had from this, so that's why I'm gonna do it. So, before we begin, I'm going to very briefly take a look at the title screen thing, like I did in the stream stuff, because there's a lot of characters here. It's not even title screen, it's a choose character thing. But yeah, there's a lot of girls that you can choose from in this game, and they all fight each other in some mixed mesh of goodness and stuff, basically. All of them have unique properties, you know, they've got their own movement speeds and charge speeds, they've got their own scope style, we'll go into what the scope is during the actual thing, they've got their own special abilities, which like small hitbox, swift gauge filling, worst ability ever, as I've said in the thing, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff which they do. They all charge at different rates as well, but every one of them has got their own X attack, which is basically something that gets sent on the opponent's side of the field when you kill lots of stuff, and you know, that is good or bad depending on the character. Mostly they're all good in their own way, but some of them are much better than others, like Tase is not really very useful, whereas Medicines is completely broken. You know, go figure. Each of them have got their own charge attack, which they use on their own side of the field to try and help clear their way for things. Again, sometimes they're better than others, but you know, that's just the way it goes. So, without further ado, it was replay number 13. There's kind of irony in that, I know, but we are going to take a look at this and hopefully things will go well. So I don't know exactly how much of game stuffs will be immediately taught about apart from what's relevant at the time, but yeah. There's a lot of stuff to explain in this though. Phantasmagoria is definitely a very mechanic-driven game, and it's very, very unusual for the Touhous, because, you know, most of them aren't this powered by the mechanics of the thing. That's probably because most of them aren't versus. But anyway, the idea of the game is for you to go ahead and take out the opposition by overwhelming them with Danmaku. The way you go ahead and do that is to, you know, summon boss attacks and stuff as you would like to do, but the main idea is to kill everything on your side of the screen and reflect it back at the opponent. Because, yeah, you can kill the fairies and the spirits. When you do that, they create an explosion which will cancel pellets which are right next to them. Since pellets are the most common form of attack in this game, you know, that kind of means you can cancel a lot of stuff. The way it works is, as you cancel pellets on your side, they get sent to the opponent's side. So as the game goes on, the attacks intensify because more and more pellets go between both sides of the field, and it just gets insane, and whoever cracks first loses, pretty much. The gauge that's at the top, the yin yang orbs, I actually took a hit in that one, so there's one set missing there. There was one set missing. Basically, you lose between half an orb and 3 orbs, depending on the time. You know, the difficulty is one factor for it as well. If you're on Lunatic, you're much more likely to lose more orbs, but the duration since the match started is one factor for it. I think the speed of collision is another. I've never really tried to work out the science of how you lose orbs, because I basically think of it as I've got 3 lives. Because you can never die completely and lose the game unless you are at half an orb beforehand. And when you get to half an orb, the game gives you a level 4 charge, as is shown by Lyrica just now. But yeah, the point is, you basically have 3 or 4 lives, depending on how well or badly you're doing at the start. Even if you get down to 1 Yin Yang Orb, you will always have a full extra spare life thing. 1 Yin Yang Orb is 2 lives, basically. But only if it's the last 1 orb. Anyway, not the point. Lots of other stuff to go on. Lyrica's just kind of died, so there's not much to say there, but the other biggest thing you need to do is the more stuff you destroy consecutively, the better you will do. There is a bar which, once you've killed an enemy, just below, you know, just up at the top left hand corner, you'll see it right now. that bar constantly decreases until you kill something when it maxes out again and starts all over. The idea is that you want to maintain that going because that is a combo meter and that is how you send lots of stuff to the opponent. The more points you get on that combo meter, the faster your gauge will charge down the bottom, so the more spells you can inflict on the opponent. I'll talk about spells in a sec, but the other thing, you can send boss attacks by using the combo gauge as well. If you combo up to 100,000 points, you'll send a boss attack to the opponent. Combo 300,000 and 500,000 and you'll get that as well. You'll also send a level 3 charge at 500,000 points, so it's well worth getting to. What else is there with that? The spell cards themselves, as you can see, there is a grey and red gauge at the bottom. That fills up as you kill stuff. Marissa's ability helps it fill faster as well, so that's pretty good. And when you get to the next bar, you will get spell cards to use. I also just got an extra life there because I hit 10 million points. You get extra lives at 10, 30, 50, 70, 90 million. I don't know if you get any beyond that because I've never scored that high before. I've never scored higher than 90 million before Shiki's, so I don't know. But the point is, you get spell cards for, you know, killing stuff. As you can see, the game will tell you when you get the next level too, so I've got level 2 just now. The spell cards send characteristic attacks at the opponent, so for Marissa, her level 2 spell sends Stardust Reverie, which is going to be lanes of stars and pellets. You'll generally find that a level 2 spell will have around about half of its bullets cancelable and the other half are non-cancelable. Whereas for the level 3 spells, which are slightly stronger, the actual, you know, spell itself is entirely non-cancelable. So when a level 3 spell is cast, you'll definitely get damage going on the opponent, and, you know, you won't get a kill guaranteed, of course, but you'll definitely be hurting them because they have to either use a spell card themselves or just tough it out. Thankfully, most spell cards aren't that powerful by themselves, but that then leads to the next thing of spell card levels. As you see down in the bottom left hand corner, I have a number 9 there at the moment. That's because that's what level my spells are at. As you cast level 2 and level 3 spells, the next one you cast is sent to the next level and becomes very slightly stronger. This goes all the way up to level 16, which we will see later. The thing about the bottom right hand corner number, which is currently 4 but is actually shared between the players, that is the boss spell counter. Yes, boss spells are unique in the sense that they have their own counter and they also are shared between both players. So if one person sends a level 4 boss spell, the next one to send a boss spell will be at level 5. This counts for cancelling them as well, so if you guys are the opposition and you are chaining boss spells left and right and you're sending them back at each other, reversing them and whatnot, they're going to get progressively much stronger. You can already see that is now at a level 6, no, my thing is at level 6, the boss spell is at level 7. The next one to go out will be a level 7 boss spell, and it will be pretty rough in comparison to level 4 or level 1. The bosses get progressively higher HP and whatnot as they go along, so it generally becomes a fact that the further on you go into the boss spell fights and stuff, the more likely it is to reverse instead of actually getting killed. You can kill the boss as you would kill a normal Touhou boss by firing at them long enough, but it's not the easiest of things to do, especially not on the higher difficulties where you're much more likely to actually just reverse it instead. Anyway, where are we at? We are at stage 5 finish. Now, stage 6 is where things start getting hard. You are lucky, not necessarily lucky, but you're playing very well if you get through stages 6 to 8 without dying on any one stage, you know. Stage 6, 7 and 8 are both very, very hard, and if you don't lose a life on them, you're generally playing very well, which is good. What else is there? The spirits I've not really said anything about. The spirits are slightly tougher than the fairies and they're a little bit more annoying to kill, although Marissa's illusion laser does a very, very good job of killing them, so I'm grateful for that. Basically, I took a hit meaninglessly, but I only lost an orb and a half, so it's not too bad. But yeah, the spirits are better for points and things, so if you're going to try and maintain a combo, try and kill spirits as much as possible. The thing is, you've got to make sure that you actually kill them quick enough, but details. Spirits have a special interaction with the scope, however. When you focus, you see that purple laser thing there right now. That is my scope, and the scope appears whenever you hold down focus. If a spirit touches the purple area in the scope, it will activate and rise up the screen. You can see this very briefly at times. For Sakuya, they don't rise up the screen because that's her special power, and it's like the worst thing ever, but you know, whatever. The thing with the scope is that if an activated spirit stays on the screen too long, it actually detonates and sends out free aim circles at you. It does become much easier to kill the spirit when it's activated, however, and because it floats up the screen, it's not going to collide into you. Because, you know, like everything else in this game, spirits do have a hitbox, and they are fatal to touch, so you don't really want to be touching them. And yay, my combo is maxed out. I had bonus, which means my spells are going to charge up very, very quickly. This is good. One thing, if you noticed it very briefly there was an item which just dropped because I did actually defeat Sakuya there, but we'll try and explain items in the next stage, because I think that is going to be much more prominent there, since I think Lily White is going to come in a lot more in this stage. So, Stage 7 is always against Aya when you are playing with Marissa, it's often against Medicine when you are playing other characters, it's fixed for the character. So, you know, some characters will always play Medicine, like Tay and I believe Yuka. No, Yuka doesn't play Medicine, I don't think. Yuka plays Aya, but yeah, Tay, Mystia plays Medicine, I believe. Yeah, because she's got large wings and stuff. I remember that quote now. And, yeah, she's a bit of a pain in the ass, but we're going to find out about her a bit more in the extra stage, I think. So, whatever. Anyway, a bit about the items and stuff. As, you know, if you defeat Lily or if you defeat a boss before it gets reversed and whatnot, you get to try for an item. An item falls down the screen from wherever the boss, etc. was. And if you can pick it up, you get some various bonuses depending on what the item was. There's 4 different ones. If it's a red item, then you send uncancelable bullets in a relatively sparse maze-like thing at the opponent. If you get a blue one, the point item is worth 100,000 points on your combo gauge, so if your combo is just reset, then you'll get an instant boss attack on the opponent. Wow, that was bad playing, Carl, seriously, but I'm down at 1 orb, so I still have 2 lives. But yeah, if you get the purple one, which is an X attack, then, you know, it's got the EX on it that sends a bunch of X attacks to the opponent. If you get the yellow one, which is got a G on it for reasons I've never worked out, then you kind of get a full spell gauge, which is very, very, very useful. So bomb if you can right before you're going to get one of those, because seriously. Speaking of bombing, the way spell cards actually work in this one, when you charge up the gauge, if you charge up for level 2, you know, to a level 2 spell and you use that, then you will only use 1 unit of your gauge. If you charge up a level 1 attack, it will be, you know, no units of the gauge used. But if you bomb, it will automatically use the highest number in your gauge and it will deplete it completely. So if you have 3 spell, you know, like units in your gauge, if you're at charge level 3 and you bomb, you will use all 3 of them to send a level 3 attack at the opponent, which is not really very helpful, to be honest. And wow, that could have ended so much worse than it did. And I even get the X attack as well, so now I send lots of Earthlight Rays on her side of the field, which is pretty good. I really like Marissa's attack set, to be honest. The AI is annoyingly good at dodging the stuff though, which kind of sucks. But whatever, not the point. What else is there to say? Apart from I hate Aya because she lasts way too long against freaking Marissa, but you know, I'm doing good. I still have an orb left, and she's on her last life. The AI does play a hell of a lot better when they're on their last life, but here, this is really what Phantasmagoria is all about right here. I've managed to get myself up to the maximum combo possible, and I am currently sitting, getting level 2 charges very, very fast because of the combo and everything, reflecting tons and tons of stuff at her, and, you know, she got overwhelmed, I guess, in the end. And that's basically it. That's how this game really goes when I play properly. I get up to the maximum spell charge and just run with it, you know, spamming level 2s all over the place and cancelling a lot of stuff. It's very hectic, it's very fun, you've got to dodge a lot of Danmaku in a short space of time, but it's excellent and I really enjoy it. That said, this game is still not necessarily my favourite just because it's kind of out there. I would like it a lot more if the netplay worked a lot better than it does, because I really want to play netplay on this game, but even the Adonis caster doesn't work very well, I must admit. So unfortunately this game is kind of difficult to netplay. And that means it's kind of in limited appeal, because the story is kind of not very great, and you know, it's not one which I would play very often at most times. Not saying it's bad, because this was the original game I got given or had to go at, was this one. So yeah, it's definitely something I approve of, but it's just not something I could really play for very long. Which is why this has taken so long to come out, you know, this playthrough thing. Anyhow, Komachi is an annoying opponent because of her X attack. Those floods of rings, they're not rings, they're coins, but you know, they're ring-shaped coins, that's what they are. But they're very annoying, and they do kind of clog the field up, especially if she gets the X item, because then she sends about 4 of them at once and it's just a real pain in the ass. But currently she is not doing very well. I kind of ran headfirst into a spirit there, which doesn't help, but she is not doing overly well. She's on her last life, I have 2 lives left, so that's as a minimum. I could lose 2 orbs, you know, just as a thing. Probably wouldn't, but you know, it's always there. And yeah, it's currently going very well. I used to suffer a hell of a lot against Komachi, but nowadays I think I'm kind of good against her, to be perfectly honest. And you can start seeing why I wanted to keep this run and use this as the LP one, because this was freaking amazing. Managed to clear stages 6 and 7 and even 8 without actually taking a single life lost. So I actually have 6 lives going into the final stage. Which is great, because I'm gonna lose like half of them anyway, you know, because Shiki is freaking impossible. But never mind, Shiki is like the worst extra boss ever, because she's not even an extra boss, but you know, she's a final boss. She's kind of pseudo extra boss as well, but that's spoiler alert. Anyway, she's like the worst thing ever because of her X attack there. I personally think Medicine is more broken, but considering the final stage, Shiki is far worse. Shiki's vortex things, you can see there, anytime a bullet which is not one of her judgment carrots goes through it, it creates a judgment carrot which goes in the same direction as the bullet was travelling in, but it goes faster. This means that there is a hell of a lot of Danmaku to dodge. The judgment sticks themselves are kind of annoying when in packs, and it's like impossible. I have lasted once, I think it's about 4 minutes against this fight, and she didn't even take a single hit. It's just about impossible for Marissa to do this first time. The AI is just too good at dodging Marissa's attacks. If you've ever played a lunatic computer in match mode, you'll know what I'm talking about. Some of those games can go on for over 15 minutes and still, you know, the opposition to Marissa hasn't taken a hit. Unless it's Mystia. Mystia seems to struggle against Marissa. But anyway, not the point. This is really annoying. And hey, Lily Black was on the field for a bit. Lily kind of makes things literally impossible in this one, because all of her bullets will create judgment sticks. And it's just impossible. If Lily is on the field at all, you've got to get rid of her as fast as possible, and thankfully Marissa is very good at that if you have charges available. Marissa's illusion laser pierces right through Lily and is an amazing tool to use. But yeah, it's not easy when there's a boss attack on the field as well, and things just get extremely hectic. You can already see it here. I think my only real strategy for this fight, it's not even really much of a strategy, but my only real attempt at playing through this one is to try and stream the stuff, because the pellets are the main problem in the whole enemy kills you fire type of thing, creating judgment sticks. The pellets are the main issue. So what I try and do is I try and not get myself killed, but yeah, I was never going to do it first time. But I try and misdirect the stuff. A lot of the pellets, I can't remember which color it is, I think it's the blue ones, but maybe it's not the blue ones, maybe it's the red ones, but one of the two sets is aimed in your general area at all times. So what I try and do is I try and keep myself moving so I can misdirect the pellets and therefore misdirect the carrots away from me as well. Because if I don't do that, I'm pretty much screwed, you know. As you've already seen from that first fight, it's ridiculous. Thankfully, the AI does get easier every time you lose to it, so the first time it's impossible, the second time is barely doable, the last time the third time it's kind of okay, and then it's still possible to get walled, unluckily the third time though. You know, I've kind of gotten lucky in a way so far that she's not really been too dangerous to play against, and hey, there's a G, let's get it. Let's also now use one of them. I like to keep a level 3 charge as my highest because I always like to be gaining spell gauge. If I find that I'm at level 4, I will tend to use a level 2 whether I need it or not, because I want to keep myself at a low enough level. I've still got enough spells at level 3 that I can save myself. So yeah, you can see this is getting mad, and Lily is only going to add to it. Lily, go away. Dang it all, Lily, come on. See, look at that. There is no way you could get through that without cancelling some of it. This is just crazy, and she's on her last life and I hadn't taken a single hit yet, so you can imagine I was feeling pretty good about myself here. I had to bomb there, so that kind of meant instant kill because I lost all my spell gauge. Bombing against Shiki is pretty much her cardinal sin. If you bomb against her, you can expect to die 2 seconds later, even no matter what you're doing, because if you're having to bomb, then yeah. And I got slipped up. I probably should have moved to the right or something there, so that's kind of screwed. We're both on our last lives. Things are getting really hectic over here. You can see this is getting absolutely nuts. Don't think that because this is on hard and not lunatic that it's not extremely annoying or difficult to do, by the way, because the only differences in hard and lunatic is the fact that the bullets move very slightly faster in hard. I was disappointed that I got hit there, but in lunatic the bullets move very slightly faster, not in hard, in lunatic, and you start at level 8 in spells instead of level 4. In normal and easy mode, you start at level 1, so yeah. Those are the only two differences, and I have cleared Lunatic on this game before. It is not as hard. If you can do hard in the first place, you can do Lunatic on this game, just about. That's the general rule I found, but it is still difficult. And yeah, I am probably not going to be doing Lunatic on this game like ever, as I said at the end of the stream stuff, because there's no point. It's exactly the same game, it's going to be just as hard as this. Not really any harder, to be honest, because I don't find the faster bullets are that much more of a problem. They are kind of annoying when you are playing on the early stages. When you're playing before stage 6, it's kind of a problem. But as soon as you hit stage 6, this game is just as hard on hard, and, you know, there's just no point. But yeah, Shiki is throwing literally everything at me here. You can see it, it's absolutely crazy, and yeah, I'm still somehow surviving pretty well, to be perfectly honest. It's nowhere near as difficult as it was the last couple of games though. You can see now this is possible. It's not easy, you've really got to pay a lot of attention to this, but it is definitely doable. One thing I do like about this game though is that it's random. Okay, the attacks have got patterns and stuff, and she's on her last life, hooray! But yeah, this game is random, unlike the others. The others, of course, have... How the hell did I survive that? Yeah, the others have got set patterns for their spell cards and stuff, so, you know exactly what's coming. There's a bit of randomness in them, but you can learn them, so the other games are kind of easier in that aspect, but when you come to this game, you've just got to purely rely on your Damaku dodging, because there is no fixed thing for this. Every game you play on this will be different, and that's what I really like about this. Unfortunately, I missed both of the red items there. It's a bit of a shame because I could have sent some damaging stuff on her side with those, but it's not too big a deal. My combo got reset so I can cancel her boss spell, that was very helpful. And as you can see, we are trading level 16 spells and stuff here. She's actually at level 16 in her real spells as well. I don't understand why mine are not, but you know, I just haven't used them as much, I suppose, which is... It kind of makes sense because I'm playing super defensively here. I would normally be going much more aggro on the spells, but I know at any second this fight will send me on undodgeable stuff, and I really need to keep hold of my spells in case it does. You see there though, even at the third attempt, that took 3 minutes just about. 3 freaking minutes against Shiki. That's solid. It doesn't matter who you are, that is solid. Anyway, that was the replay run, and as I said in the Mario Golf video preluding this, or prefacing this I suppose is the word for it, the extra stage went absolutely terribly, so you know I'm going to be doing that myself as a live thing sometime later. But this is as good a way of starting this as any. So this has been gamercal watching through his run of Phantasmagoria Flower Review again. I'm sorry it's not live, but it is a little bit more systematic this way. I won't be doing the other games without live commentary and stuff, don't worry, but I figured since I had the stream recording and this was only to preserve the high quality aspects of things, I figured it would be okay. So hopefully you guys don't mind too much. If you do, just watch the other one and put up with the frame skips, okay? So yeah, this has been gamercal watching through and pseudo playing Phantasmagoria Flower Review, and join me next time when I go ahead and do the extra. I might do it twice because I don't feel like doing it with Mystia just so you can see all of the other characters. So I may do the thing twice just so, hey, there's Blue Reimu. Blue Reimu doesn't really make sense, although it does look cool. But yeah, I might do it twice just so we can see all of the characters, but who knows, we'll just see how it goes. So yeah, see you guys later.